What's up everybody, NFX here with another tutorial. Today I'm going to try to explain how to make a very simple reggaeton beat. It's actually very easy to do. Let's get started. The basic reggaeton beat is based off a rhythm pattern commonly known as the 3-3-2. What that means is if we start on a downbeat and we go 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, go 3 more steps, 1, 2, 3, and then go 2 steps, 1, 2, you'll notice that we start on a downbeat and we end on a downbeat. And this is convenient because in a 4/4 time song, this particular rhythm will repeat itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and you see it starts at the beginning again. And this is what this particular rhythm sounds like. Okay, it's very popular in Latin and Caribbean music. What we're going to do is transpose this rhythm to the kick and the snare. We'll do that by taking the 2 downbeats, moving them to the kick, and these 2 intermediate hits we're going to move to the snare. Okay, and then listen. Okay, and you can't see it, but I'm running at a tempo of 98 beats per minute right now. Okay, but there's a little bit more to reggaeton than that, although you can tell that's the most basic rhythm of it that you can get is right there. But reggaeton is more than that. Reggaeton is dance music, and because it's dance music, it has this pulsating backbeat to it, and that's where we're going to have to expand on the kick a little bit. I'm going to turn off the snare, and I'm just going to show you we're going to kick every beat. We're going to hit the kick drum. And the reason we do that is because it gives this pulsating, driving, pounding, constant rhythm that makes you want to get up and dance. This particular pattern where the kick's hitting every beat is it's popular in techno music. It's popular in disco. It happens in some hip-hop songs. Basically, there's something in humans that when they hear this boom, 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 they just want to get up on the dance floor. So that's what we're going to do here. But if we do that, we kind of lose our 3-3-2 in a way, because the one beat is the same as the 2 beat, and really we want the 2 beat kind of there but not in your face. So what we'll do is, rather than take it out, we're going to accentuate the 1 and the 3 with a low tom sound. And this is another popular trick in reggaeton, is to do exactly this. Put a low tom or some low electronic sounding kick on the 1 and the 3. And now let's take a listen. So you can see it's got some bounce to it now. We'll throw the snare back in the mix. And there you have the reggaeton pattern. Of course, a drum beat, isn't a drum beat without a little bit of hat. Actually, that's not true, but it helps to have it in there to give it a little bit of spice in the upper frequencies. In this case, I'm just going to do a simple hat pattern so I could show you a trick you can use to make your hat patterns spicy. This hat pattern is real basic and boring. Take a listen. I'm almost sleeping now. It's so boring. But what I'm going to do is go into the channel settings for this particular sample, go to the function page, and I'm going to increase the feed on the echo to about 50%. I'm going to leave the time where it is at the default, which is 3 steps, and the echo, the number of echoes, where it is at 4. And now let's take a listen. So you can hear that's a lot better. We'll put all of our sounds back on and hear the drums one more time. Okay, not too bad. In reggaeton, that's the backbone to the song, is that beat. But that would get boring really quick without something else. So what they tend to do in reggaeton is they spice it up by throwing in fills and breaks and just, you know, all kinds of other things. But unlike, let's say, hip-hop, they really fill the beat in a lot, like every other bar or every 4 bars or so. They might even just change a snare sound completely, or, you know, if you really listen to reggaeton, it's pretty interesting, everything that's going on in it. And this is just with the beat. This is not even talking about the instruments that are going on. But here I've got a bongo pattern. It's straight, you know, hits across the board, nothing spectacular about that. But what I'm doing is I'm building it up, and as it's building up, I'm just hitting these accents a little bit to make it more interesting. So rather than a straight, you know, tat 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 pattern where it's just all the same, it's going to build up. Have a listen. Okay, and then I've also made a snare pattern which has a roll, which are these notes you see grouped together, and you can see they build up. That's considered a roll, and then it's got these other extra hits coming after it, which is like a snare fill pattern. It sounds like this. Okay, I probably could have done a better job with the timing on this. It's, you know, it's quantized, so it doesn't really have a human feel to it necessarily, but it'll do for the demonstration. So now if we play the beat with these 2 extra patterns in it, you'll hear it sounds a little more interesting. But in addition to that, just before we finish the tutorial, because really that's all I have to show you as far as the beat goes, I'm just going to show you a couple of things I've done to spice up this particular beat a little bit. I've added a bass line, which is a boo bass, just a standard boo bass built into FL Studio. And you can see that it's hitting, in this case, an A, a couple times, a small little fill back into the A, and then another fill which will loop back into the beginning of the beat. By itself, it's really unimpressive. I mean, if I heard this, you know, I'm not impressed by it myself. But with the beat going on and the melody, it helps just glue everything together, and we'll hear that in a second. So there's the bass, and then I have what is the pluck instrument. The pluck instrument basically sounds like a pluck. I mean, really basic. Not a lot of controls, you know, to handle it. There's a decay and a color. The color is kind of like a filter. And then the decay tells the instrument how long it should play before it fades out. So if I turn it all the way up, you can hear it's got quite a lasting tone to it. But I want short little hits. So I'm going to leave it at that. And then I've made a simple melody for it. And then what I want to do is spice this one up also using some echo. Now the way I'm doing the echo here is with the built-in echo, and you could obviously do it with a plug-in if you wanted to. So it can be applied to, you know, any program really. This is not FL Studio specific stuff I'm showing you, other than it's the tool I'm using to show you. But I'm going to turn it up again to about 50%. But this time the time parameter here is set to 3 by default. I'm going to move that down to 1. and I'm going to cut the number of echoes down to 2. So now let's hear the melody again. Okay, and that's really all there is to it. So I'm going to play everything through for you, and we'll see if it sounds like reggaeton. And there you have it. Hopefully you've learned something. If not, maybe you can tell someone about this video and they can come and learn something. If you want to leave me any feedback, questions, comments, if you have any suggestions for tutorials you'd like to see, please send them to nfxbeats@gmail.com. In the meantime, good luck, have fun, and goodbye.